Hi, this is Rhett with testingtheory.com, and today I want to talk to you about an ideation framework that you can use to come up with better test ideas for your A/B testing and conversion rate optimization. At the beginning of the year, many of you are looking to fill your roadmap with good test ideas for your clients, for the businesses you work for. And by using an ideation framework, you're more able to explore the possibilities and come up with ideas that you may not have thought of before. Today I want to teach you a simple framework that you can use to give you a foundation for coming up with great testing ideas. This isn't the end-all be-all. There may be other frameworks you can use. This is just one framework that you might try to create a new type of brainstorm to help you come up with good ideas. I also want to hear from you. If you have a great way of brainstorming that you've seen work with your company, put that in the comments below to help everyone else. Let us know how you brainstorm, what and what frameworks you use to come up with good testing ideas. Before we dive into the details of this ideation framework, I want to just invite you to give me that thumbs up if you like this video, and also to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button so you're notified of videos just like this. I create new videos every Thursday to give you better testing and more conversions with your testing efforts. So go ahead and subscribe and hit that thumbs up now, and let's dive into this. So there's 3 simple steps to use this framework, and I want to go through the steps and then we'll walk through an example of what it looks like. But the first thing to do is to create categorical boundaries to create boundaries in thinking. And I want to also recommend that you only do 4, at least for this initial framework, and then also talk about what they should be. So again, create categorical boundaries. You want 4 of them. The second thing that you want to do once you have your categorical boundaries is to formulate questions by combining multiple boundaries together. So you take things from one boundary and you combine them with another boundary, and by combining those, you're able to come up with a business question you could answer. The third step is once you have combined those to have the business question, then you create variations that would answer that business question. So let's walk through it so you can see what it looks like. For starters, the 4 categorical boundaries I'd recommend are audiences, goals, locations, and elements. So the audiences can be any visitor segment that you have, whether it's like a first-time visitor or a returning visitor. It could be someone who's created an account and logged in versus someone who's never created an account. It could be something as simple as paid versus natural or mobile versus desktop. You want to create a list of audiences or segments that are relevant to your business that you can segment your data on, and also that create that boundary of an audience type boundary. The second boundary we want to talk about is goals. So you have your primary metric and then you have your secondary metrics. So you want to list out your primary and secondary metrics, and then you can take those and combine them with other audiences, as you'll see in a minute. The third categorical boundary is your locations. So you want to list out your main locations across your site. It could be your homepage, your checkout process, your sign-up form. It could be your department pages or category pages, your product detail pages. Each location or page type is something you want to list out under the location section of the boundary. The fourth categorical boundary is the elements of pages. And lots of these elements might be unique to a page. Some might be more global. You could have a hero banner. You could have certain widgets across your site. Most of your site will have a CTA somewhere on the page. You could have just content. All the elements that make up your pages are another categorical boundary. And what you want to do is you want to list out as many of those as you can. So at this point, if you follow these steps, you have 4 categorical boundaries, and you have a bunch of things inside those boundaries of things pertaining to that boundary. So audiences, goals, locations, and elements. You should have lots of each of those 4 things. Now you move to step 2. You want to start combining categorical boundaries to formulate business questions. And what I mean by this is, for example, say we take first-time visitors from the audience boundary, and we take a sign-up form from the goal boundary. And you might create the business question, how can I get more first-time visitors to sign up? So you're creating a question by combining boundaries. Once you have a business question, you can start breaking that out into other questions. Well, how could I get first-time visitors to sign up? And then you might start asking, well, does it matter which landing page they land on? Does it matter how many call to actions are on that page? Does it matter what content those first-time visitors see? You start asking questions about what are the things that influence first-time visitors to sign up? And it was by combining those 2 boundaries that you were able to put those things together to ask a bunch of questions. Let's do another example of combining things from the categorical boundaries and see what questions we might come up with. So suppose we take from the elements boundary the promotions on your site, and we want to combine that with the locations boundary, something like landing pages. So then you're asking, what kind of promotions should I have on my landing pages? Do my landing pages need promotions? If they do, what types of promotions should be? How big should they be? How much real estate should they take up? So you see that once you combine something, you just ask a question around it. First question always is, should I have it if an element is involved? Or should I not have it if an element is involved? With locations, there's always that question of, well, where should it be and how should it be? And then with the audience, you're asking the question of, should this thing be there for my audience? The nice thing about combining a goal as a boundary is you're asking how that thing or audience or location impacts the goal. And so by mixing and matching these all around, you come up with lots of different questions. Let's do one more. From the secondary goal section, let's take video views, and let's combine that with the CTAs that we have in Elements. So you might ask the question, what kind of CTAs should I have with my videos? Or what kind of CTAs should I have after my videos? How prominent should the CTA be after someone has watched a video, while they're watching a video, or just before they watch a video? So you start asking these combinations of questions because you've combined a goal, a secondary metric of video views, with a CTA, an element that is on your site. So I could go on, but the principle is that first you create the boundaries. Once you have these boundaries, you combine things in the boundaries to help you ask different and unique business questions. Once you have those unique questions, then you ask how you might answer the question. And that could be as simple as defining variations. So let's take the last one we just talked about. You might ask the question of where or at what point of someone watching a video should I offer them a CTA? Do I wait until the video is completely done? Does something pop up? After the video is done, how many CTAs should I offer them? In fact, I ran a test recently where we tested how many CTAs we offer after the video is complete. And we found, at least in this instance, that only having one CTA was better than having 3 or 9. And so by asking the question, it could generate the idea, and we create variations to answer that question. So those are the 3 steps. First, create the boundaries. Second, combine them to come up with new ideas. And third, create variations to answer those business questions that you've come up with. I hope you can see that by creating categorical boundaries and by combining them, it gives your brain the chance to be creative. It helps you come up with questions that you might answer, and it helps you define variations that you might not come up with if you're just sitting in a room trying to think, and brainstorm. So give structure to your brainstorms by using an ideation framework. And this simple ideation framework is one that you can use to create more opportunities and more diversity in your brainstorming sessions. Thanks for joining me today. I hope this was valuable and you see the impact of having an ideation framework in your testing to get better brainstorm ideas. If it was valuable for you, go ahead and hit that thumbs up now. And remember that testing theory is where good testers come to do better testing and get more conversions.